led rookies with 13 wins on 126 strikeouts. He's tied for 4th in the Rookie of the Year. Not bad for a guy that, quote unquote, came out of nowhere. This one toward the hole and short. Nice play by Scudero. Not enough arm to get right. So lead off single, or pardon me, a one-out single.
I think he kind of three-fingered it over there. His idea was right about one hopping it from the hole, knowing he doesn't have the strongest of arms. But it looked like he didn't have the proper grip on the ball. He spiked it way too soon. One of those guys that is fun to watch.
Gets jammed here, fights one out to right. That falls in front of a grave. Euclid moves to second. So Team USA get the first 2 men on here in the 6th inning. Nobody out. And down by a run for Adam Dunn.
I guess the best compliment you could give David Wright is to say he is just a baseball player. Trademarks one to right. And with that leadoff strikeout of Euclid reaching base.
Not a good effort tonight by the bullpen of Venezuela. That one's hit well at the alley in left center field, a base hit. Ordonez, nice job of cutting it off. Euclid all the way to third. So a couple on, one out for Adam Dunn.
And a soft line drive that nestles into the grass in right center field. Second hit of the game for Team USA. And the leadoff man aboard. Team Puerto Rico, the pitching hasn't just been good tonight, it's been good the entire World Baseball Classic. Connection to get him to come to the U.S., and they signed him as a 17-year-old. Wright drills this one right field. Von Kloster makes the grab. And tagging and scoring is Brian Roberts. Jeter up to third. It's 1-0. David Wright delivers. And Brian Roberts, the latest addition to the U.S. team, making an impact.
David Wright's an RBI machine, and Brian Roberts got him going, reaching base on that base hit to right field. It became a distraction, forced Vandenherk into a couple of walks, and then David Wright with a very good approach at the plate, not wanting to do anything dramatic with the bases loaded, just wanting to cash in at least one run here, and he doesn't.
David Wright last year 124 runs batted in.
He handles himself professionally, and he's just everything and more that you would imagine.
And Wright, another base hit, a line drive to left. So he's now 5 for 17 in the 2009 World Baseball Classic.
What a good player. What a very good player. And that's a pretty good pitch. And that's not a cookie right down the middle. That ball was sinking in on his hands. He hit a rope to left.
The next 2-2 is shot back up the box, a base hit. And David Wright has the first knock for Team USA. It comes to lead off the home second.
You know, there are some ballparks you just feel good in. I mean, they got that big blue background, and you got the other side of it is nice and dark. The ball just jumps out at you, and this is probably one of those parks David Wright just feels good in. Well, he plays so easy and effortless. That's a great call on the bunt right there, testing his teammate out.
And David Wright answers the call, but that run moves up 90 feet. Rodriguez to second.
If he's able to push that ball down third base, he'd have been a little better suited. Here's the bunt. See, it's right at David Wright. Had it been down the line and made him go towards the line and then have to throw the ball back across the diamond, he probably would have had a chance to get a base hit. But nonetheless, there's a perfect look. Had it been towards the line, there's no play for David Wright. Not on Beltran right there.
It's a tough combination. It's kind of resurrected his career with the Nats.
A base hit. Into what Tony Gwynn used to call a 5.5 hole. Leadoff hitters aboard, and the tying runs at first base to start the home eighth.
Well, he got a slider out instead of coming back with that pitch you were just talking about, and David was able to get around it. You know, he's had a couple good at-bats tonight.
He's now seen a couple fastballs. He sees the release point. Timing him.
The 2-1. And Wright lines it into the right field corner. The U.S. wins it! David Wright with a walk-off knock! And Team USA moves on to the semis. Santa Maria!
And they're, oh boy, the excitement, emotion, there it is right there.
(5-3) in the ninth. And Team USA rallies to win in Miami. 3 outs away from tournament elimination.
What a game. What an inning. What at bats there. Right down to every bat. That last bat, David Wright going the other way, starting off with Shane Victorino.
This is the game winner. David Wright goes down and gets a pitch and lines it into the right field corner. No question this was going to score both runs as Roberts and Rollins come around to score and win it for the U.S.
Big hit, comes down to strikes, excitement. Jimmy Rollins scoring. They know they're going on to the next pool. Semifinal, final round.
Boy, and for Team Puerto Rico, so close to knocking off the U.S. and moving on in the event.
I was waiting to hear all that. That wasn't it at all.
That's bounced to third. It's going to score a run as Wright's thrown out at first. Credit David with the RBI as Roberts comes home, and it's a 1-run ball game. 7-6 Venezuela.
Rollins off second. 1-1 ball game. Right center field. Where's the wing going to take this? Fukudome back off the base of the wall. Rollins will come around to score. Wright with a double and a 2-1 USA lead.
Now how big is that pitch?
How big is the stolen base? Even it made that run easy.
Every bit of it all goes into this 2-out RBI by David Wright. Do not take anything away from him. That was the previous pitch that could have been strike 3. You could see the reaction from Daisuke. And then again, another hanging slider, but this time the ball tailing away from the center fielder. The wind actually helping that ball get to the wall. Well, watch Fukudome right there. He gets a good jump. He's off and running. You know he's got great range, but that thing got into a jet stream and just no way he could have gotten there.
And Wright, who is so excited about playing here, puts the hands together at second base.
Here's Luis Cruz now. That's grounded to third. Great play by David Wright. Cruz beats out the relay, but David Wright made a fantastic play to his right.
Man, that is a Gold Glove play, no surprise, by David Wright. That's a 2-base hit. I mean, not only getting to the ball, but making that pirouette, and then a nice job by Phillips. He plays like a first baseman, stretches to get the throw, no chance to get 2. That's a run saver right there. He was the longtime star of the Mexican League, the Babe Ruth.
Jose Felix with a ground ball for David Wright. Better pick on somebody else because David is in mid-season form defensively tonight. Runners go, and Wright cashes in. Rollins will score. Braun to third. Team USA is on the board. An RBI single by David Wright.
Boy, and a nice piece of hitting by David Wright. He's been known to take the ball the other way, right center. This pitch is down and in. Runners on the move, and he slices it into right field.
Ryan Braun bought the deke here. Watch Braun if we can get a look at him. Braun slides.
Yeah, he didn't pick up the baseball. He just ran with his head down. Don't know if he could have scored anyway.
Bauer off first with 1 gone. Bounced over the middle and through. Back-to-back one-out singles. Mauer will wrap around to third. The next 1-2. Swinging a drive, well struck to left. That one's got a chance, and that one is gone! International salami for David Wright. David Wright's grand slam, giving the U.S. their first lead in the World Baseball Classic. Worth another look.
Yeah, hitters call this extension, and he got it.
Little Met fan loving it.
Come on, David, break this thing open right here. Get out of here! Get out of here! Yeah!
Her second overall draft choice, taken by the Pirates a couple of years ago. He gets the ball for Canada tomorrow. Another hit for David Wright tonight.
That's a day saver.
Pretty good matchup coming up right now with Stanton against Yeti.
David Wright leads things off in the top of the second. Team Canada and Team USA is scoreless first. David Wright dumps that pitch into the gap in left center field to stay hot. David Wright now 5 for 10 this weekend here in Phoenix.
Ryan Braun singles on the first pitch. David Wright on the second pitch. 5th extra base hit for Team USA here going into their third game. Coming off the grand slam, David Wright picks up an extra base hit of his own.
On the ground to the left side, smothered by Aviles. They cut down the middle, man. What a fine play by Mike Aviles. Brandon Phillips scores from third. It's 2-0 U.S. But wow, what an effort by Aviles up the middle.
Tell you what, this is as good as it gets. Bases loaded. U.S. looking to crack open the lead. He gets a good jump, gets to his feet and his knees. The only play he had was at second base. Full extension. We're seeing more and more of these plays from the talented shortstops and second basemen in our league.
And 2-0. Wright shoots it into right field. Jimmy Rollins scores. Braun being held at third. It's a bases loaded RBI single for Captain America. And the U.S. takes a 3-0 lead.
It's just a tough position to put a pitcher in with the bases loaded. 2-0 count. And again, David Wright doesn't do anything other than go where the pitch is thrown.
Wright sends a drive out to right center field. Rios and Pagan are there, and Angel Pagan can't make the catch. And Captain America's cashed in with the bases loaded again.
Well, this is a long way. A breaking ball that he stays inside and goes in the gap. He had to run a long way and almost came up with that ball.
5 runs batted in for David Wright this evening, 10 for the tournament.